Welcome to the edition of April 12th of Business Day. A quick presentation of the Global Business Group. Our goal is to improve the business of our associates around the world to make international business as easy as local business. The Global Business Group is a community of 22 associates from 22 countries. We have treated 215 business opportunities ranging from $1,000 to $500 million. The group was established in June 2020 and is becoming a global business network with a major impact. We are active in business advisory, import and export opportunities. We support companies with market entry. And our fourth and fifth areas are investment and funding search. So the next meeting will be on April 20th. We will move to Wednesday, but we stay at the same time. We stay with 10 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. April 20th from Italy on logistics. And without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Danny Benjamin, who will tell us about EasePack, our guests today. Danny, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Dirk, and good morning, good afternoon to all. As all of you know, water is becoming an increasing problem all around the world, not only in developing countries, but also in developed countries. Parts of Northern California are suffering from drought, Australia as well, and also parts of Europe. And there is often a problem in accessing pure water for drinking or water even for agriculture. EasePack is a company that has addressed these problems in a variety of innovative ways, and they concentrate on particular technologies for the transport, storage, generation, and purification of water. And with that, I will hand you over to Alex Harel, who is the CEO and owner of the company, and Shalom Green is with us. He's a joint owner and responsible for business development and marketing. So, Alex, take it from there.
Yeah, I'll share my screen, and thank you very much for the opportunity to present our company in front of you. As Danny said, we are okay. As Danny said, we are in the business of equipment for clean water. Company was established in 2010. We started with various products for water distribution, transportation, and storage based on our proprietary technology of bladders. And then in the last years, we are focusing on a solution for off-grid clean water, solution for off-grid clean water for drinking and for agriculture, especially in light of the major water problems there is all around the world. We are also a supplier of the United Nations, Israel Defense Forces, Israel Water Authorities, and we have clients, of course, in Israel, and in the United States and several other countries. So water is a huge issue. Currently, almost 800 million people all over the world, mainly in undeveloped countries, don't have even basic drinking water services. It's expected that in 2025, about 50% of the world population will be in areas that will be a water stress area. Even in the United States, when we're speaking in the West Coast, there is a huge issue of water to agriculture because of the drought that continues for years there. And last summer, they cut significantly the water allocation for farmers in the West Coast, and farms have been closed because of no water resources. All our products are based on one major concept that we developed, which is a two-layer bladder. Bladder is a flexible water storage container used all over the world in many cases. The main problem with bladders, which are one layer, it's a one-time product. Once you finish using it, you can't clean it and restore it to drinking water regulation situation. So you have to throw it and use it and use a new one, and that's of course a cost issue. We developed the two-layer bladder, which inside we put a liner, which is food graded, very low cost liner. Once you finish using the bladder and you want to store it for the next time, you just replace the liner, and it's ready. And the process will take 15-20 minutes, and then it can sit on the shelf for years till you use it to the next time. If you use the bladder on a continuous basis, we recommend once a year to replace a liner. We have various bladders from 10 liters up to 24,000 liters. They can be located on the ground with solar pumps or something like this. And we have also what we call the stages, where we put the bladder on a stage that we design, and the water can run by gravity. We also have various solutions for stacking bladders, which basically give us the opportunity to do any size of water storage that the customer needs. For the customer point of view, it's a one big water storage. Advantage, of course, is if you need to replace a liner in one bladder, you don't have to empty all the storage. You can keep using the storage. Or if there is a problem, again, you deal with the bladder that is in a problem, and the rest of the storage is working. We have several very unique water transportation solution, basically to replace tanker. The problem with tanker, it's a very expensive equipment, several hundreds of thousands of dollars, and usually people buying it for average use. The problem is when you have a peak need for transporting large amount of water, of course you don't have enough tanker, and we came with solution to this. What you see here is a solution we call the Spider, which is a mobile water unit. Basically can be fitted on any vehicle. We just need to know the dimension and the weight limitation of the vehicle, and we design the Spider according to it. You can see here some examples. This is a standard trailer of the US military with 800-liter Spider. This is a military truck with 2,000-liter Spider, and this is a standard pickup with 500-liter Spider. We have we can put on the Spider water storage, of course. We can put diesel and have the Spider to be a mobile diesel station, and we can put our water purification system, which I'll talk in a minute, with the solar power and provide a mobile water purification unit. For large water transportation, as a replacement for tankers, we have two solutions. The idea is basically to use equipment that are available everywhere. And in this solution, which is a HippoKit, we are using standard flatbed truck. Can be 4-meter truck, can be an 80-wheeler. We built a kit that you're putting on the flatbed truck in a matter of a very short time, and you have a tanker in a fraction of the cost of a regular tanker. And when you finish using it, you can disassemble it, and the truck can be used for other uses. The numbers are running. A 4-meter truck, it can take 4,000 liters. An 18-wheeler can take 28,000 liters, and between depends on the size of the truck or the trailer. And then we have another solution based on a standard 20-feet container, where again, we put the kit inside the container with not doing any changes to the container itself. So you can rent a container, use it with the kit whenever you need, and then disassemble the kit and reuse the container for other things. Such a container can take 24,000 liters. And then we have some solution for what we call for tactical vehicles, pickups, mainly that can take water storage for rangers, for first responders, and those kind of things. Potential use cases for those equipments is, first of all, refugee camps. Always in refugee camps, there is a water problem, and we can provide a very fast water distribution solution to a very large refugee camp. Of course, disasters where every time there is a disaster, and it doesn't matter if it's a flood, hurricane, tsunami, or tornado, the first things that need to be taken care of is a water utility, water system. Even if the water system is working, usually the water are contaminated and needed to be treated, and people can't live a long time without water, contrary to food. So water need to be supplied very quickly, and he provides those solutions. And then, of course, we have the militaries that, again, for deployment and those kind of things, we can provide a very good solutions. And then in the last year, in light of the major issue of wildfires that occurs around the world, we have developed also solutions for what we call pushing water to firefighters, because fire trucks have a limited amount of water storage. So we provide water forward into the fire line, so the fire trucks don't have to travel a long distance in order to be filled. And we have also a solution how to refill on the fire site firefighting helicopters. So that's the first part of our product, which are water distribution, transportation, and the storage system for various situations. And then we have the off-grid clean water solution. But the major problem is when you want to supply water, you need electricity. In many cases, again, not only in undeveloped countries, even in developed countries, you need other sources of electricity, and you want to work on solar, especially today when we're talking about fighting global climate. So we provide two solutions to supply water off-grid. One is when the water is available, but the water are not drinkable, need to be treated. The other solution, when there is no water available and you need to produce water from nothing, or in this case, from the air. So our treatment system is based on reverse osmosis, very well accepted technology, which can do purification and desalination. We can purify water of wells that are contaminated, rivers that are contaminated, or we can desalinate water, brackish water, and even seawater. The most important thing about our products that are aimed for local solution. So they are compact, they're small, they are easily to install, and don't require a lot of energy. So the solar system that support them is relatively small. Our Easy Pure reverse osmosis system is a fully robotic system, doesn't need any technical knowledge to operate it, and it's the smallest and the lightest machine in the category. Just to understand the numbers, the systems that you can see in the picture is about 120 centimeters on 40 or 40 and weigh less than 30 kilos. And then the other solutions that we are providing is producing water out of the air by condensation. The air is a huge water source, unutilized till now. And the idea behind our system is to overcome one of the biggest problems of atmospheric water generators, which is because it's best to do the process at night because the humidity is higher and temperatures are lower. You need electricity to do it. So if you want to work off-grid, you need to store energy in batteries, and you need to store a lot of energy in batteries, and it's become very expensive. We almost eliminate the need for batteries because we develop a concept of storing energy in water. During the day when the solar is available, we're using the solar energy to cool the water as much as we can. And then during the night, we circulate the water through our condensation unit and produce the water. This system enables us, again, to provide a system that can be off-grid with a relatively smaller solar field and almost no need for batteries, so the cost is significantly lower. Of course, the amount of water can be produced. It very much depends on the local conditions. The higher the humidity, the better the performance of the system. But even in humidity in areas of 50%, water can be produced. And then we have another product that are based on off-grid system or solar energy, is a hot water unit. Again, we use solar energy to heat the water during the day when energy is available, store it in a large water reservoir, and then having enough water, hot water to be used during all over the 24 hours of the day. The next day, we compensate for the decrease in temperature by the solar energy we provide. Three use cases for such system. The first one is an off-grid hurricane compatible house. We're working with a company from Florida that developed such a house, and we are providing them with a water system, which basically has three parts. One is the water storage, where you can see here, which has drinking water, hot water, the thermoflex, and the gray water. We have the water heat pump unit, and we have the Easy Pure. The water for the house is brought by collecting the rain, purifying, running the water through the Easy Pure, and then supplying it for drinking water and for hot water. The gray water is supplied by the residual waters that are produced in the process of purifying the water, and it used to flushing the toilets. Another solution is to equip villages or communities in rural area with water running to the houses. Usually such villages has one water source. It can be a well with a good water quality. So then we only provide the storage and the distribution. And it can be a river or a well with the brackish water. And then we can put a purification system in order to treat the water, or even put a atmospheric water generator to produce water. We put a central water storage in the village, and then distribute the water to each family, and put a small 200-liter water storage for the family for supplies them the need of the day. During the next day, those bladders are refilled. And the last solution is for agriculture, mainly for small to medium agriculture that using irrigation. Again, depends on the water source. Either it's needed to be treated, or we can use the condensation unit. We put the water into bladders that are located on stages, and then the drip irrigation is working by gravity. So the only energy we need is for the pump to deliver the water from the water source to the bladders, and that it's used by a pump that's working on solar. And every day we refill the bladders in order to have enough water for a long day irrigation. So that's in a nutshell what we are doing. I hope I didn't over limit my 20 minutes. And now it's, if you have any question or any clarification, please let me know.
Awesome, Alex. Thank you very much for this very complete presentation. Indeed, we have a couple questions, especially there's one on pricing, on what the cost will come out to on a per liter basis, depending on the different solutions that you're providing.
Okay, so bladder cost, of course, it depends on the bladder size, but it runs from around $100 for the small bladders, and up to area of $4,000 to $5,000 for bladders of 20 or 24,000 liters. The water transportation equipment, it's based on the size of in the magnitude of several $1,000s. The highest price for 18-wheeler, I think it's about $20,000. And of course, if you compare it to a price of a tanker, it's less than 10% of the price of a tanker. Regarding the purification system, the purification system runs around, it depends on the configuration, because sometimes you need pre-treatment to pre-treat the water in order to get rid of solids and things like this, is around $10,000 per unit, and the desalination is about $11,000, $12,000 per unit. Of course, this doesn't include the solar system, but the solar system, it's whatever the solar cost. We don't have any special requirement for solar system. We use standard off-the-shelf solar equipment. And the easy cone is in the magnitude, again, depend on how much water we want to produce per day, but in the magnitude of several tens of thousands of dollars.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, we still need to know the specifications of each project in order to really come out to adjust.
Yes, and of course you need to remember it's a one-time cost. There is almost no operating cost in such systems.
Mm-hmm. And especially for the water storage solutions, do you need? You said you're not using any treatment for the water. The water. You achieve still that the water can stay in these bags for some time before it's being used, or do you require that the bag is changing?
Okay, that's very much depends on what kind of water you put inside. If you put water from the grid system, usually those water has some biological and bacterial components, and those over time are developed and contaminate the water. If you put in water from the Easy Puro, which is distilled water, it can stand almost unlimited. If you keep using the bladders and running water in and out, there is no limit on how long you can use it.
Okay, great. There's one clarification question on desalination. The question is if that refers to seawater cleaning?
Yes, it's also referred to seawater.
Okay. And another question that came in is this for institutional use, or are your solutions also for residential housing, individual residential housing?
Individual residential, the amount of water that Easy Puro is producing 500 liters a day, an hour, sorry. So it's way over the requirement of a residential house. Usually a house is using like between 50 to 100 liters per day per human. So it will be expensive for a single house. But if you're taking a group of houses or a small community or small farms, then definitely it's appropriate.
Okay. I understand. There's a question also on the usage, and I read that to you. What is the use of your system in countries not touched by dry climate, like in Europe?
Again, whenever we give solution to two situations, as I said. One, you have water source that need to be treated in order to be used for irrigation or for drinking water. If you have communities that has a brackish water source and want to utilize it, then we can provide the system. There is now a project called for a proposal running for South Europe for a water solution for agriculture, because in the country of the south part of Europe, there is a water problem. As I said, there is a water problem in the west coast of the US. So it can be used in a variety of situations whenever is a water problem.
Dirk?
Mm-hmm.
Dirk, I would like to add to what Alex said in answer to the last question. The use in an area where there is no problem with water would be for the two examples that Alex gave. One is for military, because military are often in areas where there's no, they're off-grid. And the other would be for firefighting, where you don't want to send your truck to go and refill. You want to bring the water to the truck so it can continue to work with the fire. So we're not talking about a fire in an urban area where you have fire hydrants where the truck can connect up to, but in usually the large fires are forest fires, and there's no running water there. So instead of sending the truck back to refill, you can push the water to the truck. So these are two examples of usage in areas where you don't have water problems.
And the third
Yeah,
example.
I want to add something regarding the firefighting, because it's very true what Danny says. Our solution for firefighting, it's really like providing more fire trucks to the fire department. Standard fire trucks take about 4,000 liters. We can provide a solution to fill six fire trucks in one container. Now, usually fire trucks driving between half an hour to 2 hours, depends where the wildfire is happening, to be refilled. So if instead of driving half an hour, you can drive 5 minutes, be refilled, and get back to the fire, it's principally like having more fire trucks, because you have a much higher duty cycle for the fire trucks.
Yeah, may I add to Danny, Alex and Danny, or Dirk? Can I do it?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, okay. So last year we had a big flood in Western Germany. So that means there could be also a third example of the use in Europe, because you see the climate change also leads to, let's say, meteorological issues and high flooding water and so on. So that means that also could be a solution used in here.
Yes, and you're absolutely right, because even though flooding, you have a lot of water, the problem is the water system is contaminated immediately, and you need to treat the water in order to use it for drinking.
Great. There's one more question on your on who's engaging with you to provide you solutions to villages not served by water, mainly in Africa. Do you sign agreements with governments, or how do you who's your contract partner?
We're working in two methods here. One, we are subcontractor to companies that doing a project, and we providing the water equipment. But yes, the answer is that all those projects are government projects. We are also capable of bringing financing to such projects, but it's financing that is brought to the government. The government is to be part of the project. They're getting the financing in order to do the project.
Can I add one more thing, Alex? You can expand on this. I think one of the things EasyPack is looking for is also for suitable partners in different countries. We're talking about companies like engineering companies that are capable of providing the service, because installation service, after sales service, to and also the marketing of the product in any particular geographic area. So this is one thing that we are also looking for, because obviously it's difficult for EasyPack from Israel to to supply and install a project in say in Italy or in Poland. We are looking for contacts to local companies that are interested to become partners in this. Alex, do you want to expand on this?
Yeah, we are definitely. We are looking for partners. Can be distributors, can be agent. They need to have some capability, some technical capability to support the installation, even though the installation are not very complicated, but still you need some technical knowledge in order to support the installation, and they need to provide after-sales service. As I said, the service is limited, but still, we need to be able to provide it, and we need someone locally that will do it. So we're looking for such partners that would like to work with us and represent us in their territory. We're also looking to, we are in raising funds for the company, mainly for marketing and working capital. So also we're looking for investor who will be interested in such funding.
Okay, great. Are there any further questions? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question regarding the business case, Alex. So that means when you have installed the system for a village, for example, do you have a calculation? What would be then the average price per liter or per 100 liters of water? Do you know that from practice, from a practical business case?
Yes, we have calculation of the cost of a liter. Usually, those systems, you calculate them for 10 years of use, 10 or 15 years of use. And we have calculation how much a liter costs. There is one main problem with water all over the world. People have been accustomed not to pay for water. And I think those days are gone. I mean, water is not, it's a product that it become costly to produce. So people will, I mean, government need to decide how people will use it, we pay for it, but there is a cost for water. So, and comparing to the real cost of water, our solution are much lower costs than a standard water from grid based on regular systems that have today, if it's available. We also looking on providing solution mainly for countries like Africa, where people can't afford a large sum of money to pay at once, but to pay over time for the use of water, and implement such a system with cooperation with local companies in Africa. There are many of them that provide payment services through the cell phone.
Alex, I want to just ask you, are you currently busy working with Nigeria, with Lagos at all?
We have some initial discussion with Nigeria, but currently, we don't have any live project there. We would like very much to be.
The problem is the government doesn't really support as they should be, and the water quality in Lagos is very bad. The other problem they have is space, because it's very densely populated. So I'm busy speaking to somebody they're trying to get funds together for water, exactly a project like this. But we'd have to look at what you would propose in a very densely populated area. I'm going to have a chat to him, and maybe we can put you guys around the table.
Yeah, well, we actually, Shalom was leading a project several years ago where we proposed, Shalom, do you remember to which country it was?
Doing what? The water?
When we proposed the using of rain harvesting program for city.
It was Rwanda.
We proposed a project in Rwanda to collect rainwater and then have a local storage at the house. So yes, we would like very much to discuss it. And I believe, I would say that one of the biggest capabilities of the company is provide the to understand the custom requirement, that provide from all the Lego blocks that we have, to provide a solution that fits the requirements.
Yeah. And
I just want to, if I may, I just want to add to Alex, the concept of our bladders is very useful for rain harvesting. I've seen in Africa, in many places, rain harvesting in open containers, and you find animals and insects and everything. It's always when the water comes down, there is a space above the water, and it is never closed from the top. Our bladders are sealed, completely sealed. So if there is half quantity of water, the bladder is shrinked. And there is no way that any animal, insects, or any other pollution will come into the bladder. Based on that, I try to attract some interest from Rwanda's government agencies. I've been there more than once. Many promises, zero action, zero financing, zero initiative, bad experience.
Yeah, the government, the problem in Africa are the governments. It's the big thing. You know, it's really getting past them. I've been talking to a lot of people. I mean, we've got a massive problem in Tanzania where Dodoma, the water's almost undrinkable. And I've been speaking to people there as well. And really, it's the government, they don't care. It's like they don't care, which is very sad. So you literally have to get private people.
If I would add a bit to what, Lenka is saying. Alex, I believe when we had our meeting, I mentioned to you that going through the government is one of the biggest hurdles. And even if you get results, it would take time, take a long time. And the best process in Ghana now is to go through the private angle, where you do something for the government to see, for the villagers to start talking. When they talk about it, and then you start tackling districts. So after our last meeting, I've had meetings with 2 district executives who, on their own initiative, wants to do this for their community. And let me tell you, even the funny thing, the moment they hear the project, they want to do it for their own community and benefit, they start thinking about the political gains they will get when they do this project. Not even about how the lives they will save and the comfort of people. No, it's the political points that they will score. That's what they are thinking about. So what Lenka said is 100% right with the African government. It's very unfortunate, but that is the state and the mentality of a lot of them. And like Shalom said, zero action, zero effort. If you deal with them, it would take a long time. So that is, if we have to deal with Africa, we have to deal with them from a private angle, and then gradually seep into the hearts of the people, and the people will let the government react. That's how it works.
Looks like you have a strategy there. Now,
we've been thinking on this a long time. Believe me, Africa has huge water problems, and it's my passion.
Okay, great. Well, I think we're coming to a close for today. If you have any questions, any comments, direct them please to Danny Benjamin at Israel@globalbusiness.group. You will also find the contact information in the description. And with that, I'd like to remind you that the next business day is going to be on Wednesday, April 20th, at 10 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And with that, thank you for joining us. And thank you very much for our guests, Alex, Shalom, and thank you very much, Danny, for bringing us all together.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining in. We'll see you at the same time next week. In the meantime, be sure to check out our website, www.globalbusiness.group. The Global Business Group, making international business easy.